That's it from BBC Two for tonight. Join us tomorrow morning, Bank Holiday Monday at 6:25 for time-travelling adventures in Quantum Leap. Until then, we'll leave you with some pages from CFAX.
Which of these is not in a pina colada? A. Rum. B. Pineapple juice. C. Coconut milk. D. Gin.
There is an easier way of testing your general knowledge. Play at home, on paper, online, on your digital remote, and now by text. Test the Nation, the national quiz, tonight at 7:30 on BBC One.
When a continent is isolated from the rest of the world for 45 million years, with a landscape from vast desert to snow-covered mountains, it's no surprise that it became the breeding ground for the most extraordinary animals on Earth. Wild Down Under, Friday at 9 on BBC Two.
Join Ruthie Henschel, Bryn Terfel and many other great musicians at the BBC Proms in the Park on Saturday, 13th of September in Belfast, Glasgow, Swansea and London's Hyde Park for the last night of the Proms. Call 0870 899 8100 for more information.
There are a number of questions we would all like to answer. How did the universe begin? Why are we here?
Would you consider undressing for the benefit of a hungry polar bear?
Yes, because polar bears don't like the taste of human flesh. But they would steal your clothes to get into a restaurant.
I know something quite interesting.
Yes, tell.
About polar bears. They don't have white fur.
Well, you better look behind you, pal.
Stephen Fry and guests pit their wit and wisdom in a spontaneous panel game, QI, Thursday at 10 on BBC Two. They need to know the answers too.
Marilyn Monroe and Robert Mitchum head west now on BBC Two on the River of No Return.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Stunning! Why, thank you.
It's wonderful.
Oh, for God's sake!
Christmas! ITV, where family entertainment lives this Christmas.
Attention, this is a special bulletin.
Turn on, tune in, and rip the knob off!
Fair jump, not.
Face away. Because it's time to kick back and relax in the most happening hotel in the world.
We're not stereotyping!
Don't stay in the dark. Whatever you want, we've got it. Television with a big attitude.
Arthur's showing an interest in youth activities.
What does an ageing lad like you do for an evening diversion?
This evening, me and Gloria, we're going to a karaoke night.
Oh, you don't want to eat that muck, Ray. It's all raw.
And now there's been a delivery at the lockup.
What is it?
One of your okey-cokey jobbies.
Sure you've thought this through, Arthur?
In great detail. It's brown ale till 9 o'clock and then 3 quid lagers till closing time.
He can't fail. Mind it tomorrow.
Attention. Metropolis concluded tonight's intergalactic transmission. All passengers are invited to ready themselves for hypersleep. Our journey resumes tomorrow. May the 4 be with you.
This is a nightmare.
2 crimes.
No motive, no case.
2 suspects.
I've been charged with first-degree murder.
1 motive.
That tape would have destroyed my son.
Obviously, Ransom was blackmailing her.
Every lie comes with a price.
This is a case about secrets, lies, More than that, it is about arrogance.
The only real question is the degree of guilt.
Degree of Guilt, next Saturday at 9 on 5.
There's a lady killer on the loose. Just the job for the boys on the boat. We're riding the riptide next.
America in the Roaring '20s. There was Prohibition. There was baseball. And there was Babe Ruth. Kelly McGillis and John Goodman as the Babe.
Hey, you're a good-looking dame.
And you're quite the slugger.
The story of baseball's troubled genius.
You can't tell me what to do, Dad.
You're at it again!
An Arthur Hiller motion picture, The Babe, tomorrow at 10 on BBC Two.
Take one thing you pick up. And one place where you can get picked up. Add one switchboard operator.
This is the switchboard here. Can I help you?
And one smooth operator. Whip them together with something saucy. And what have you got?
Coq au vin.
Not quite, Lloyd.
Don't you give me any fat lip.
It's the menu for Wednesday evening on BBC Two. It's for you and off your trolley, a feast of fun on the phone and up the aisle. First course will be served Wednesday at 8.
Oprah introduces a new generation of comedians in half an hour here on BBC Two after studio debate with...
Well, the time is now fast approaching 13 and a half minutes after 2 o'clock. Just before I rush for the door, I'll just say thank you for watching tonight. Do join us again, if you will, sometime on Saturday. For now, though, from all of us here on 4 and from me, Jane Copeland, a very good night to you.
This week on Hollywood UK, James Bond, the carry-ons, and the final excesses of the 60s.
Bond was the spy as a hero. The Ipcress file in the Harry Palmer series was the spy as victim.
If they had time to get bored, they'd start looking at the script, and they'd look at all the holes in it.
And you just said the magic word, you know, film, Woodfall, Tony Richardson,
right.
and they got out their trays of Diamond Bridges.
And later, the film Too Dangerous to Release. James Fox and Mick Jagger star in Performance. Hollywood UK is at 8:10, and Performance at 10:45. Tomorrow on BBC Two.
Well, as for this Saturday evening, we've come to the end of our programmes on BBC Two, so with a final look at the clock, let me just point you in the direction of John Peel on Radio 1 and Charles Nove on Radio 2. They're both going strong. From the team here on BBC Two, though, I'm Jane Constantinis, wishing you a very good night.
Cruise a road to corruption.
All you have to do is do a little song and dance with your bookkeeping. You're crossing the line, George.
And others will hitch a ride.
I'll pack.
But those driven by greed...
You are taking me hostage.
I am a very, very rich girl. I am a very, very rich girl.
don't always know when to stop.
Merry Christmas.
But who's deluding who?
Goodbye, Cucaracha!
Delusion, next Sunday at 10 on BBC Two.
Got ourselves a ride, Johnny.
Soka Gakkai, widening the current of Buddhism throughout the universe. Gloriously advancing throughout the world, cheerfully and harmoniously. Heralding the era of peace and freedom. Soka Gakkai, the most powerful sect you've never heard of. 10 million followers, an £80 billion fortune, one unelected man at its head. Assignment Investigates, Saturday 8:10 on BBC Two.
Well, back to this Sunday night, and there's a change to our late evening schedule here on BBC Two. We're postponing our film premiere of The Bat Whispers. It'll now be shown on Sunday, the 29th of October at 10 past midnight. Well, the change of plan gives us the chance to review the trial of O.J. Simpson.
Sue Riley is the boss.
embattled by reduced resources, fighting for quality patient care. In public and in private, she takes the camera on her daily rounds.
I'm not taking being told off for other people's problems.
But first, she must get her team's support.
I wanted to demonstrate the standards of care I expected from everyone else.
Living the Life of Riley, the Boss, Saturday, 7:20 on BBC Two.
A comic diversion for Sunday night just starting over on BBC One, The Frank Skinner Show. Here on BBC Two, there's a review of the trial of O.J. Simpson following the verdict announced last week in a specially extended programme at 11:45.
You're a drunken beast, that's all you are.
And what? I'll show you who's gaffer, though.
Caught in an unhappy marriage.
Do you love me?
What do you ask for?
Have I hurt you this month?
You haven't, and I don't care what it's been if you'll come with me.
She has the chance to escape.
I'm not daft!
But can she ever be free?
Man, what am I doing?
I wish she was dead. I do with all my heart.
Do you?
D.H. Lawrence's The Widowing of Mrs. Holroyd, with Stephen Delane, Colin Firth and Zoe Wanamaker. Saturday, 8:55 on BBC Two.
New emotions change the course of a sheltered life. Now on BBC Two, Michael Palin co-wrote and stars in the film drama American Friends.
This summer, the BBC stages the greatest music festival in the world. 72 concerts over 8 weeks, forming the BBC Proms. On Bank Holiday Monday, Radio 3's In Tune outlines the full range of this year's concerts. Music from China to Russia. Performers from Dawn Upshaw to George Schulte. Music at its best from the BBC, keeping you fully informed on the whole season. The new BBC Proms Guide, with programme information and a priority booking form, is available now in all good bookshops.
Next Wednesday at 9 on ITV, join us for live coverage of the European match. Manchester United left it to extra time to break the deadlock against Panathinaikos. Now they face the might of Spain's Atletico Madrid. The first away leg, live at 9. And that's followed by highlights of Tottenham's home match against Portugal's Porto and Arsenal's leg against Lisbon's legendary Benfica. The European match. Coverage begins at 9 next Wednesday on ITV.
Thank you. Well, next tonight, a review of the action so far in the Rugby World Cup, followed at 12:15 by our late-night movie, Ghost Story.
Nina, look at the silly boy band and him with the hair. What's he doing?
They're not silly. You love them. No, I don't. I don't. What about that picture? That's mine.
Dolmio, bringing families together with Saturday nights on ITV.
Okay, so you remember Ross loved Rachel and Rachel loved Ross. Then Ross started bugging Rachel about a guy she worked with. Then Rachel said she wanted a break, but it wasn't clear whether it was good. Then Ross accidentally slept with another woman. Then they spent a long night with their friends locked in a room eating wax, and then in the end they broke up. Then Ross fell in love with Emily and asked her to marry him. Next up, the whole lot went over to London, baby, and had a bit of a culture shock. Met Emily's family. Chandler slept with Monica. Joey slept with the bridesmaid. Phoebe was at home pregnant, and Rachel got this mad idea to stop the wedding and tell Ross she loved him. So she goes to the airport, buys the ticket, forgets the passport, goes home, gets the passport, comes over to London, arrives in the church, sees Ross kissing Emily, decides it's a bad idea. Then the wedding continues, but Ross screws up everything by saying,
"Take thee, Rachel."
Catch up on the old series of Friends because the new series is coming soon, and you'll need to know what's going on. Thursday at 10 and Friday at 9 on 4.
This September, catch all the action live, round the clock. The 24th Summer Olympic Games. From a winning team, ITV and Channel 4.
At 2:35 tonight, owing to circumstances beyond our control, we won't now be showing our advertised programme, The Gay Men Chorus. Instead, you can see a special episode of Almost Grown.
Well, now a glance at our lineup for tomorrow night on BBC One shows 2 films on offer. The Lords of Discipline at 9:05 is set in the 60s in a tough US military academy with a tradition of harsh discipline and violent humiliation. Then, for a bedtime story at 11:30, Dracula takes his teeth out for the night in a stylish Hammer version of his story, The Kiss of the Vampire. Sandwiched neatly between the films, there's Sue Lawley. One of her guests is a film director who's both acclaimed and controversial, Ken Russell, also the brilliantly funny Victor Borge, and the equally brilliant concert pianist Vladimir Ashkenazy. And that's what matters, entertainment all the way on Saturday night on BBC One. Now, as for the weather taking us into Saturday morning, it'll be a chilly night with showers in places, especially in the north and west. Tomorrow, winds will decrease and showers become few and far between late in the day. Most districts will be bright at times, with temperatures only a little below normal. Well, now the time is 6.5 minutes past 1, and it's time for BBC One to close down. But if you'd like some company from the radio, the Ranking Miss P is on Radio 1 until 2 o'clock, and on Radio 2 now there's Night Ride, just one of a non-stop sequence of mellow music and cosy chat to while away the early hours. Well, thanks for sitting up with us tonight, and now on behalf of everyone here, this is Malcolm Einan wishing you a very good night and a good weekend. Good night.